When you were playing that record, what were you thinking?
Welcome back. Today we're looking at how to play Forever Isn't Long Enough by Alfie Templeman. Now this bass line is an awful lot of fun to play, and if you followed on from the first lesson, it's going to be a real step forward into getting you playing with a bit more speed. This video is going to be split into 3 different parts. The first one being the recorded version, the second one being how I'm going to be playing it live, and the third one being a full playthrough so we can play it through together. With that in mind, let's get to learning the piece. Okay, so let's start off with the notes that we're going to be using. We'll be starting on the B, with the octave, moving down to the A, F sharp, F, and E. The other 2 notes you're going to need is the octave down of the A, and the octave down of the F sharp, which when played in the right order sounds like this. Now in the recorded version, there's 2 parts of the sequence that will be played. The first part moving around the higher notes, and the second part moving around the lower notes. The first of these sequences is played like this. So once again, that's... So all you're doing for that second part is just moving back up what you've already done. And then following on from that, you have the second sequence which moves to the lower notes, which goes like this. And once again. So all you're doing there is moving down to the octave of the F sharp, to the... Then altogether, it should sound like this. Practice that bit slowed down as much as you like, but when you're ready, let's move on to playing it alongside a click. So with that, you've got the main parts that you need for the recorded version. So for the live version, I play it slightly differently. This is a song that's very rich with percussion, and so I wanted to add to that by adding in ghost notes. Now, for those of you that don't know, ghost notes are where you pluck a note without audibly pressing it down. So it's playing a muted note in order to add percussion to it. You can often find great examples of ghost notes from Joe Dart from Wolfpack. So the way that I use ghost notes in this song is by adding them into the natural gaps so they're not intrusive and still let the riff flow. To start off, I'll show you how I play it live slowed down. So notice that I'm using the ghost notes in the gaps between the octaves because that's where there's the most natural space for them to fit. So between the B's, and I'm also using them between the E and the A. Now I did toy around with having double notes around that area, but it just felt way too crowded and busy having instead of the slightly shuffled. So played slightly quicker, it sounds like this. So For now, if you've practiced them in, let's play them alongside me with a click. The final bit that you need to know is the verse and the pre-chorus. The verse uses the B, the A, the F sharp, and the G. Just played in an elongated or a straight order for the first verse. And then a staccato version for the second verse. With the second verse adding in a pre-chorus that builds up to the second chorus, which uses the E, the F sharp, the G, and the A. The only difference between the recorded version and the live version is the way that I play around the octaves of these notes. Alright, so now you have everything you need to play Forever Isn't Long Enough. There's going to be a click track, but it'll go away when the drums in because they work pretty well as a metronome. Now, make sure you slow it down and take all the time that you need to learn this, because it's better that you don't practice in mistakes. Like I've said before, YouTube has a feature where you can slow down the videos, really get to know how to play it. I'll be playing the way that I'm going to play it live, so if you want to experiment and play it your own way, feel free to send me stuff that you're really proud of. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.